I just played Squirrel Stapler, and I'm so shocked that a short 1 hour experience of a concept that's as absurd as it is genuinely did get me really anxious. Let's get into it. Now, in Squirrel Stapler, you're in this environment that looks like it came straight out of the Quake era of shooters. The story is that your beloved, who you've killed, is starting to... not looking too good. So you go with the most rational option in order to deal with this. You kill a bunch of squirrels and then staple them on. You can see right away what I meant when I said that this is a very absurd premise. So you go through the forest and you hunt down squirrels. Each day you'll end up hunting down 5 squirrels, and by like the second day you're going to also be hunting down an extra large squirrel. You can carry up to 5 bullets on you at any one point, but you'll find extra bullets if you wander around in case you end up being really bad at the game. Now, the way that I went about this was I quickly found that trying to be sneaky was taking way too long and I was having a really tough time finding the squirrels, so I would just run across the field to get the squirrels to alert me to their presence by being startled, then I could turn around and chase them down. Now, it's clear that the developer wanted to try and negate this somewhat by adding squirrel bears into the later days, which are there to be alerted to when you're making noise and chase you down, and they're a lot faster than you. But if you know what the energy drinks are, which give you double speed, then it's not so much of a problem, and you can just continue on with this stupid strategy. Now, throughout the game, there are little bits here and there that continuously increase my anxiety and put me on edge throughout the experience. There was this voice that whispered out to me while I was exploring. My beloved at one point appeared in the middle of the forest, which didn't help at all. And just little things like that, along with the threat of God coming at the end of the 5 days, made sure that I was always on edge. I was always waiting for something to happen. But the craziest bit was that the lack of anything crazy happening until the very end, no big jump scare or anything like that, made it all the more anxiety-inducing, because the game really knew how to keep me on edge, waiting for that big moment. But it doesn't play it until the very end. By the 5th day, you do your usual thing, and God is coming, and you get let known that by this distorted heavenly choir repeatedly chanting God is coming, getting louder and louder and louder. And I was thinking, okay, well, I got some bullets. I'm thinking like, either this is going to be inevitable or I'm going to shoot God and maybe get out of this. Because sometimes these games will give you like alternate endings where if you fight back, you might be able to get out of a situation. And I was frantically looking, trying to figure out where he was. And then it turned behind me and he was right in my face. Honestly, while I can't say that I screamed or anything like that, my heart was pounding and it was definitely something that made me jump. Like, I've complained before that in games like, say, Poppy Playtime, I can guarantee that the payoff is going to not be as good as it's going to be in my mind. This absolutely actually nails it. I don't think I could imagine something this horrifying. While the gameplay itself is rather simple, the actual, running around looking for the squirrels and whatnot, looking for the giant squirrel, finding a double squirrel, being attacked by ghost squirrels and having to run away from, having to run away from squirrel bears whilst having pickups and whatnot, actually does make for a pretty fun experience overall. And given that this game is less than an hour long, it's an easy recommendation for me. The horror side of it is very much anxiety-inducing. The gameplay is surprisingly fun. It's hard to really find much to complain about. Another aspect of why this game was so off-putting to me definitely has to do with the aesthetic. Having these stretched JPEGs gave just an off-putting experience, like I was playing something that really wasn't meant for me. There were trees that would grow and distort as you would approach them, making the environment feel all that much more alien and unwelcoming. And the low polygon aesthetic to the whole thing made sense immediately when I started the game, as I recognised a certain name in the corner, as this is the same person behind games like Dusk and Iron Lung. So it immediately made so much sense why the game is the way it is. Overall, I do have to give the game a hearty recommendation. The game is currently 35% off, so this is probably the best time to get a hold of it, and you can experience this unique horror experience for yourself. Wait, what's that I hear?